Welcome everybody to episode number 6 of Black Ops 3 Zombies Tips and Tutorials. Within this episode, we're going to be focusing on how to upgrade the Apothicon sword here on Shadows of Evil. So if you haven't already seen how to actually acquire the Apothicon sword, then check out my recent video down below in the description where I show you guys each step in acquiring the Apothicon sword. But once you've acquired the sword itself is when you can immediately begin to upgrade it if you choose to do so. So the first step in upgrading the Apothicon sword is taking the sword to your character specific ritual site. So to be more specific, if you're playing as Nero, you of course have to take the sword to Nero's Landing. If you're playing as Jessica, you have to bring it to the Footlight District in the Gentleman's Club. If you're playing as Floyd, you of course have to bring it to the Boxing Gym. And last but not least, if you're playing as Jack, you of course have to bring it to the Ruby Rabbit in the Canal District. So all you really have to know for this step is who you're playing as, and once you can determine what character you're playing as is when you can make the next move. So once you reach your character specific area is when you can see a spirit floating over the ritual table. That spirit will be holding a black egg known as the Arc Ovum. I believe I said that right. So all you have to do is acquire that Arc Ovum and you'll see it on the side of your screen once you've acquired a black egg. So depending on what round you're actually on, these next few steps could be pretty simple or kind of difficult. So you'll see what I mean in a second. All you have to do is take your black egg to 4 ritual circles spread all over the map. The ritual circles will be red and they do contain symbols from the original creation of the sword directly around them. And all you have to do is go up to the circle, hold square or X to place the Arc Ovum in that circle. It will then float up into the air and a single Margwa will then spawn in immediately. Once you kill that Margwa, you then have to repeat this process for the 3 other circles. But something you need to remember is that the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th circles will spawn in 2 Margwas at a time. Another thing is that you can only do 1 ritual per round. So that's why I was saying the earlier you do this, the better. As I said in my previous video, you should try to acquire the Apothicon sword at least before rounds 6 and 7. That's sort of my estimate. If you do that, you can then hopefully begin to upgrade the Apothicon sword by round 8 or 9. You can obviously save a crawler at the end of a round and then do these rituals, but it's really not worth the risk. If you're on round 23 or 24 and the crawler dies, you don't want to have a horde of zombies coming at you while you have 2 other Margwas coming at you as well.
Don't go thinking your fancy words confuse me. I know what all this means. I know why we're here. You really should have crawled the other way.
So once you've completed all 4 rituals and once all the Margwas are dead, you will then see that your black egg, or I should say the Arc Ovum, will now be glowing. You can see it on the side of your screen just to ensure that you're complete. Once you know that your egg is complete, you can then bring the egg back to the character specific location in which you got it from. Once you return, the spirit who was originally floating above the ritual table will request for your Apothicon sword. Hold square or X to give him the sword and it will give you the Reborn sword. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think regarding the upgraded Apothicon swords. I already think the sword itself is pretty powerful on its own, but once you get to rounds 35 and up is when you begin to see that the sword is becoming a little underpowered versus the big hordes of zombies, which does of course justify a pretty good reason to go and upgrade the swords themselves. So as I said earlier as well, if you do this on a high round, there is a risk that you could have some difficulty killing all of the Margwas that spawn in during the rituals. So that's why the earlier you do this, the better. Not only will you be able to slash through zombies at a higher round, but you can also experience a new melee attack as well. Hope you found this helpful.